Getting ready to go. A little nervous here.
I tell you, there's a lot of smoke in the air. I think my tonsils are inflamed. Probably need to have a doctor take a look.
All right, it's the morning of. Getting ready to go. Here's the map of Waterton Canyon. And then we're looking over at the trail. Well, here we go. First steps into Waterton Canyon. A little nervous here. I think I've got set. I went ahead and cut down some weight last night. The drone had to sacrifice a few batteries. So now everything's sitting comfortably. We'll see how it all goes. About maybe 3.5 miles in on the hike. It's gonna be a long day. On today's hike, I thought I would focus in on my first day out. We're about 4.5 miles in, and today what we're gonna do is talk about what is the value added that sets you and your company apart from your competitors. I started a company down in Ludington called ProAct Services Corporation. I was a founder. First few years of ProAct Services, and our very first customer that we got hired to basically hire salespeople, and it was good. It definitely helped pay the bills. It was far off of what we wanted to do. We wanted to treat water for consultants. So I was doing a lot of marketing and telling them that we're in business, started a couple of projects, and we were awarded a few different jobs. And consultants back in that day, this is mid-1994, 95, Michigan had a fund called the Michigan Underground Storage Tank Fund Act, MUSTFA. We've got a few and started getting business going, but we learned real quick that the consultants were not getting paid all that often. Obviously, we always paid our bills, but man, we were late. We also got in with a couple of oil companies. There was one opportunity where a gentleman was looking at internal combustion engines. What they would do is they would suck the gas out of the ground, vapors, and burn it through the engine. So we're basically burning the contaminants coming out of the ground. So we went ahead and invested, and we were very fortunate. We had a consultant that we're working with who was working with a very good customer who had a major problem, vapors in the ground. So this person hired us to go ahead and put in these engines to remediate it. It was wonderful. I mean, I think in 4 months, we were able to pay back what we purchased those units for, and we kept them running. We recognized that, boy, this is a pretty nice little market here, renting this equipment versus selling it. And we started thinking, well, is there a way that we can change our motto to renting equipment? So it was definitely a eye-opener for us and things. And basically every penny that we made, we put right back into the business. So, but the business was starting to catch on, and so we started purchasing some carbon absorbers, and we also got ourselves mobile trailers. We would put those for rent. And we made a pretty strong living doing that. We had a friend of ours from the oil company say, man, I've got all these sites, and I don't think the consultants are really doing it justice in regards to monitoring and seeing what's going on with the equipment. And he gave me the opportunity to bid. So we basically petitioned out only 5 sites, and they hired us to do those 5 sites. However, we didn't do much improvement of the systems there. We really didn't improve it much. And basically he fired us. He was a friend of mine, so it was kind of difficult for him to do, but talking to him, it was a good thing. And taught me one of my first lessons that know the expectations of your customers. We also understood what our competition was not doing. And that is basically, they were not providing top-notch equipment for project sites. They were more or less going by the bid. So we opted to try to go to customers that wanted the equipment to be that much better. That was nice. It became a differentiating factor for us and our competition. For you guys out there starting a company, got to ask yourself, what is it that you're doing that your competition's not doing? And what value added are you bringing to the table for these customers? And if you can identify those things, state it exactly what it is, and offer it to your customers, you're going to be ahead of the game in the long run. So, good recommendation for you guys. Right, we're about 9 miles in trail. We're starting to make the ascend to High Point. We just went ahead at, I think it's Bear Creek. We went ahead and filled up with water. Everybody reported that there's very little water, but compared to some of the sources that I've had on the Appalachian Trail, that was a good source. So I was able to fill up with nice clear water. It's about 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're beyond Watterson Canyon now. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't have my poles. I forgot them in Steve's car. Maybe I'll have to take a town day sooner than expected. See about getting new poles, or see if I can get Steve to bring them up to me, or what. Now, hiking with no poles, done in the past, so it's not like it's a new thing for me. But setting up the tent, I need my poles. So I've already decided that tonight I'm gonna have to cowboy camp. Weather's really looking good, so should be no problem. And I wanted to hike, climb, and be on High Point, which is about 12.7 miles in. Getting there. Oh yeah. All right. High Point. 12.2 miles in. Looking good. Oh, what a nice morning. Doing lots of switchbacks here. Basically I hiked and camped. So 13.3 yesterday. Camped on the ridge. And boy, I tell you, there's a lot of smoke in the air. And what's been happening is my throat has been getting very, very raw. And last night, I think my tonsils are inflamed. All of a sudden, I was gagging and felt like there was something in my throat, and gagged. Nothing came out. It's like, what the heck? I could feel this lump in the back of my throat. And I think it's all inflamed from the smoke.
So what I opted to do is I just finished making arrangements to have somebody pick me up off the trail today. Probably need to have a doctor take a look. So this trip's going to be a little bit short. For about 27 sections short. Got the first one though, which will be good. And having fun as I'm doing it, which is great. Steve is my hero. He's coming this afternoon. We got a 1 o'clock time. Should be down there plenty of time. Boy, I just don't know about this throat. Oh, just got a bunny going across. There's that bunny again. Nice view from trail, but you can see how smoky it is. Unfortunately, that first day of hiking, I got to the top of the mountain there and basically had dry throat. And I probably commented how it was a little smoky. So that night I went ahead, had a nice dinner, went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night and basically I had this gagging going on in my throat. My uvula was hanging down in my throat and basically I gagged it up and it was sitting on my tongue. It was swollen, had some white spots on it. Was not looking very healthy. I got a little nervous and things, and so I arranged after section 1 to get picked up by a buddy and take me back. Got a flight back the next day, came back to Michigan. Slowly the swelling was going down. I arranged to see a doctor. He thought that what we did was a smart move. If anybody's seen the news and things, there's a lot of wildfires occurring in Colorado right now. In fact, Colorado Trail is partially shut down because of the fires. So I'm back home and the discussion was, do I go ahead and go back out now that things have settled down? And I'm not 100% healed. I think I may be postponing the Colorado Trail until next year. I just may be doing different trails between now and next year. So keep following, guys. I'm hopefully make it interesting with some of the stories, especially business stories and things. But this will be fun. It'll all be fun in the long run. So thanks all.